The year 2020 started with such high hopes. At least it did for me. At the end of January, I fulfilled a lifelong dream of visiting Antarctica. I departed from Brisbane on January 24th with my longtime friend Pat. By the time we boarded our ship Expedition in Ushuaia on January 30th, there were already mumblings about a virus affecting people in China, and the province of Wuhan had moved into lockdown. From there, things went downhill. On January 25th, Australia confirmed its first case. On February 7th, Li Wenliang, one of the 8 whistleblower doctors in Wuhan who alerted the world to the new virus, died from the coronavirus. On board Expedition, we had a daily printed one-page newsletter with selected stories from around the globe, which served as our only source of news from the outside world. From there, we learned about Li Wenliang and received snippets of coronavirus news from many countries. By the time we disembarked back in Ushuaia on 12th of February, things were really starting to fall apart. I flew home to Australia on February 14th via Buenos Aires and Santiago, while my friend Pat continued on her adventures to Easter Island and the Galapagos. By the time she arrived back in Australia, Pat was obliged to do 14 days of self-quarantine at home. Airports and entire countries were closing behind her. On March 11th, the World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 outbreak a pandemic. All of a sudden, the world realized that it was facing a monster, one that would claim millions of lives, cause business to shut down, stock markets, and therefore wealth, to tank, GDP to plummet, and unemployment to skyrocket. The Australian government suddenly announced hundreds of millions of dollars of stimulus packages to replace the private spending that had vanished in just a few short weeks. Thus began 2020, with the biggest bust in a century. This book draws on my experience of crises over many years in business with my husband, Ian. Our environmental consultancy, 4T Consultants, has many mining companies as clients. We help them to comply with their statutory requirements and community expectations in environmental performance. In 2012-2013, the Australian resources boom turned into a mining bust, and we lost 2/3 of our revenue very, very quickly. We lost at least 6 contracts, I stopped counting, in quick succession. All of those contracts were fully resourced with people, vehicles, and equipment. We got one phone call after another saying, "Sorry, the project's cancelled." Terrifying stuff. And then in early 2020, that same thing happened to thousands of other small business owners, first with the bushfires and then with COVID-19. Facing such extraordinary crises is horrifying and shocking. You might have experienced a similar crisis yourself, or you may be looking to future-proof your venture against such seismic business upheaval. Whatever your circumstances, the purpose of this book is to help you confront the inevitable, protect your business, and maybe even grow stronger as a result of the disaster. Crises don't just come in the form of natural disasters, economic downturns and pandemics. A death, a divorce, fraud, a computer hack. All these events and many, many more can fatally derail a business.